Hello there. SMG4 The Final Step has released, so let's talk about it. So the episode starts with Mr. Weapons and Toomp getting ready to infiltrate wherever Mr. Pozzles tells them to. Pozzles tells them they're breaking into a castle, and Weapons is excited until he gets there and sees the castle and calls it a clown house. Mr. Pozzles then goes into a rage, saying they're his enemies and he wants them to suffer like he has. Pozzles then tells Weapons and Toomp that he needs items for his escape and that the SMG4 crew have them. So first, Weapons and Toomp go to steal SMG4's computer, but Toomp sets off the security system, and I really like this detail, but Mr. Weapons protects Toomp when it goes off by shielding him. After that, he tells Toomp to be careful, then Toomp eats SMG4's computer. Weapons was mad originally, but once he saw how happy Toomp was, he forgave it. Then they went to steal a drill from Bob. Mr. Weapons tells Toomp to quit gorging and get to it, but then he remembers that he said the same thing to his kids, and then he tells Toomp that he'll do it himself. This is likely due to the fact that Toomp is sort of a replacement of Zach, Katie and Corey for Weapons. Then after that, Mr. Weapons and Toomp rob from the rest of the SMG4 crew. Well, apart from Luigi, Psycho, Tari and Melanie. Though if you rob from Mario, you kind of rob from Luigi as well. But clearly Mr. Pozzles just didn't mention them to Weapons. However, they originally failed at robbing Mario. The crew learn of this and plant a trap which Weapons and Toomp fall for. Though the crew were under the impression that it was Mr. Pozzles because he called Meggy and SMG4 snaps at her because of that. But anyway, they see Weapons and Toomp but don't recognise them, which also makes this the first time the SMG4 crew have physically seen Mr. Weapons. But anyway, they fight until Toomp latches onto Mr. Weapons and temporarily uses Weapons as a vessel to unleash his power that has tentacle arms, which this does basically confirm Toomp is at least a part of the demonic goop from It's Gotta Be Perfect. Or I guess it could just be reused assets, but there is enough evidence that says otherwise. Then once Toomp and Weapons defeat the crew, Mr. Weapons gets ready to kill Meggy, but Toomp stops him. Now, I see people saying it's because he's actually a good guy, which is just not true, especially if he is part of the demonic goop. I think it's likely that Toomp just wanted to leave because they got what they came here for. And he pulls Weapons' arm towards the door, as if he's saying, you know, I want to leave. And so they do. Then we cut back to Pozzles, where he gets a call from Meggy after talking to Weapons, but Mr. Monitor hears and takes away the phone, and says he's decided to move his death sentence to tonight. Then Pozzles contacts Weapons, saying the breakout is happening tonight. Then the video ends, revealing July 26 as the final episode, or maybe a trailer. Although I don't think this is the case, and the trailer will most likely come out on Wednesday. Also, I'm now genuinely confused on whether or not it's going to be a movie or a mini-arc, like the Meme Factory. I'm still leaning towards it being a movie, but I'm just not 100% certain anymore. Also, I question how the SMG4 crew will play a role in this, because they did play a role in yesterday's episode, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's all they do in this arc. And since it's a prison break, I honestly have no idea how they'd be involved. Especially if it is just a mini-arc, and since Mr. Pozzles' sentencing is happening sooner than expected, he probably doesn't care about Meggy anymore, and is now just trying to get out of prison before he's executed. But yeah, I've said what needs to be said, and if there is a trailer on Wednesday, and if I think it's worth making a video talking about it, then I will. But that's all, and goodbye.